Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, names ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Pitchside
Podcast.
Skipper.
Yes, sir.
Omonate.
Kiketlile
No, ke a go bona today o ka mo right wing ka mo na ke ka mo left wing ka mo
Yeah.
swere number 10.
Number 10 dumela.
Dumela Skipper.
Okay.
A ke teng wena.
No re thabetse go bona finally o re joinile. What took you so long?
Ne ke metse na kwena paitsi.
Ine paetse?
This is the right time.
No, ayana pahala, o tsa sana pahala.
Hobane-
Le ntshisa ka letsatsi.
And o shile le trophy.
Ene o shile le trophy. Bona ra yana pahala tsa nako.
Oh no.
So ine paetse o bane?
Hore re tlo tla le nna ka letsa mahlono.
Ho eng?
Cap.
Okay.
o tshoro bua le yona hape.
What else? Apara ka sona o nakaletsa mahlono lo ntho e one fela. And what else?
Re tlo go lakaletsa mahlono le mala wena o re tshepisa eng?
Re tshepisa winner cap.
One.
Hoba e mong wa dibapadi tse hlahla kwana.
E mong o ba sebapadi se hlwahlwa.
Ye mongwe a tsona, one of them.
No, re batle one of them. Re batla yena. Re batla o tsebe hore o tlo buseletsa taba ya
Under
last.
pressure.
No, under pressure. No, what number 10?
Oh yeah, actually. Yeah,
Oh,
that
opera number
too.
10.
Yeah, that too. That
Hey.
too. Queen Rabale. My games is just packing or going to the first. Re le ka gore congratulations
Yeah, mona
for
ka go
go tsia
serela
mogopo mongwe gape wa league.
No,
League utla jwang?
Se
5 times in a row.
mare re thabile.
Le thabile.
Yeah.
5 times in a row.
Inkileng go tswa go lena for that. 5 times.
5 times in a row. They have their own record. Next year, have I win another record broken 6 times in a row.
7 times.
7 times.
8 times.
Eban.
9 times. Re tsena re tlo qeta o count down.
Okay. So le games di le setlhopha ke ntho le batlang go yetsa.
Ke ntse re batlang ho etsa yona.
Ha le go training ke eng ntho le motivating go wina league gape because je go ba o jore o ka re go bonolo gore le bona re a go bonolo ke eng e le motivating gape
Re ile re sebetsa ka thata re le team. Hape a re sheba gore re lata star sa boraro ene re tla be re etsa history mo South Africa.
Okay.
Ke yona ntho e le gore e re motivate haholo.
Okay.
Ke star sa boraro.
Go na le team tsuku ke e bar ke UWC ile pushitse morago season e ala feel pressure
Re fitse pressure mara ka lehlakore le leng re thabile gore bane le ke ntse hula selemo le selemo ntsona le team e le gore e re tla ka morao ya re pusha and e re thusa gore le rona re se ra relaxa haholo.
nako le ile go ga bo bona ka le ba le shapile ka 1-0 ile la feel jwang after mo cause anke le loser lona and ha le lositse that 1-0 le fitse jwang ka yona
Ne re kule bohloko ka nnete.
le lile
Ha o disitse
ke metsi patera ntse le fitse jwang ka that lose
Re lile rona ga re rato ho jewa.
okay
La ile karolo nngwe ya papadi mpa fela re rato ho jewa re batla re dile ntse re win.
okay
But ela re tsosa ba wake up call ya rona ga batho competition e batla ile matla hape this year so re ska ra relaxa ho re sebetsa ka thata.
le kutlile le motivated after that lose la got to the second match
le ha ditlhogo ba re mo o ka re this season ho tla ba different. So when skipper, what is the most ideal part that you prefer or you like about the ladies team?
ke di trendsetters. I like the fact that every move by Yetsang, the next team is did, which is for me, we are in a position where we must always lead, get into the right. And the fact that we win the league for the 5th time
In a row.
that tells you that the team is in a ambition. First ambition is to dominate the space. The second one go hipona continental in Africa. It's not easy to play there because I remember there were the Moroccan team in the US but fact ya gore ba gona go tupa the games while they are there. That tells you that the level ya bona every year improve. She mentioned something like when they were in UWC, they gotten a wake up call, a huge one. And I deliberately mentioned that match because they hardly lose a football match. So when you are used to win football match, you don't lose a match. Remember the 5-0 that we
gave
got to
other people there?
No, when we're still playing.
When we
got
gave
5-0 there in Super
Celtic?
Stadium. The feeling in the change room is like we lost some. Personally for two. But anyway, let's not personalize this thing because it's about Queen and the ladies team. Queen.
And what I like when you mention UWC skipper is that very team is also going to be joining them in the CAF Champions League. So the same way Bafitsi that wake up call and pain Heba loser one. That team is participating with them. Go the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
What would you say, Queen, with regards to them and the experience you have there, from your perception, not necessarily to determine how far they'll go, but are you happy that you have another team
from here,
from South Africa?
Yeah.
Going from the same league, so familiar faces there, also competing in the African competition.
What's that? I got like a team and
what's about how no local? Okay, continue.
Good time. We're gonna let team young Kev.
Yeah.
And the one I got like a little machine, no?
Okay.
But let's see, it's a cat have a fix more. Tony, it was our Muslomu, Likia, South Africa, my government responsible. Or the team who are intimidating the Batland, it's a little matter to honor computer or your Kev. So, couch a
Marjolo ka ra di bua ntwe one ke. Fact ya gore la tseba re team ya ba itseba ka that side. Ke eng e le ntlo improving this side. Go batla ba rentsha di tactics ya lona le bokwetlisi. Because of course ba tseba di tactics ya lona. Le tlo bapala the same way hala bapala league ya mona hae o le na le plan e ntšha le ya Champions League.
Mara re tswa ka account re tsantse re be le plan e nngwe e ntšha.
Okay, re tlhalosetse. Re bone thaka tsa lona di kopana le loko USA.
Ba tsile ka account ba
USA. Go USA le ntse jwa.
Ba USA.
Ntlalosetse ka plan eo. Ke sa tla ke batla i touch plan eo.
Mara bona hanga bua ka plan ne wa le tlo ba surprised. Ke batla le makala le bona re ntsha plan a bona.
Oh, so le na le plan eo.
Yeah, na le plan.
Okay.
Tsa South Africa re di sia South Africa. Tsa CAF.
It's a CAF.
Tla di bona CAF.
Lile la le robadisa ka di 3 AM re le shebile ka mo USA ka
USA.
Take us through it. Their first match, what happened?
Oh wow, ke nana re bua ka CAF.
Our sa tlo right.
Wa bale. Ke nako ene pa hetsi go re bue ka taba ya
thola opportunity monyetla o re tlo boledisana le wena.
Experience yakwa
experience re go
okay, plus wena o tswa no lekwa
USA re bone go kopana le ba go
le bo memo le bo menier o ba bo
experience bile jwang ya ntho
hey USA hey no le thata
okay
USA do le thata
aga mona la tsipa la wa la tsipa ba ba
ke nyene le thata
ke bolo a di bono ga shem re sa tla mara re sa le holenyana.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know when I saw that, it reminded me of us when we went to Japan.
Club World Cup.
And then it was the same kind of a feeling. We went there with confidence.
Let me tell you, in that season, our team was the master of pressing, me and this guy. And then we got to that level at Club World Cup. We found out that our level was this. And then there's another level of football. We didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And then we learned from there when we come here to say we need to improve to get to that level. So, Lena le itutile eng on that day.
Nagalemo.
Yeah.
Valemo.
Okay.
Kashaba team ya Kansas City. Team is well organized. Wa tswa before ba bapa le gona.
Yeah.
Ba shebile di game tsa gona 3 years back.
Wa bona he?
Bane ba tseba gore ke khona o shuta ka maoto a itu na ba sanfe chance
le mo o da se ra wa bona le
tsipa ela ha ela rata o shapela o thena ga batho ne steng go
ba re go tsila iwa
imagine the whole queen of Sundowns, the Queen of London, the Queen of Lesotho.
Ke tla reng ena le school bag.
Oh, motho tsa malwana ka morao. Good. Ke homework e ba etsa. So le ithutile gore le nna le etse homework ya le.
Yes.
So good. A re ba etse homework. Go na le setlhopha sa go CAF.
Yeah.
Wa re ke US, ke ASFA.
Aha.
Se re na le homework for bona.
Ba go tlo ba ja ba.
Oh, le mara le homework nna.
No, sorry ka letso.
Homework.
Confidence.
Okay. Oh, le feditse homework.
Ka bulela.
O tshore
Ona tjena re wa re ka di team tse lore dintsha. Are ke di buka tse kwetsweng. So ha ona letho le re le tsebang ka bona. Ba re at least re ba petse le bona makgetlo a mararo.
Okay.
So una le
we win.
Re win makgetlo a mabedi.
Ba gona le sebapadi se sengwe se bapala tshwana lona ka left ba re ke Fatima. O sa lete.
Number 11.
Ya, kukule ka o khutlile empa ne kukule ka o ile Spain.
Okay.
Kukule ka o khutlile.
So le na le homework for yena. Because le ile la mmona hantle.
Ka o jeta ka sehlopha sa ESFA gale re qetile ka sona.
Sorry kholosa Banyana.
Yes.
Oh yeah, actually.
Tsho bo tisetso makhube.
Tisetso makhube. Bo gi di
Tsho
toro
bo
mo ba.
Boitumelo Rabale.
Yo.
Wena mara o make mara re batla batho ba kuka piano wena o tlo idlala kwena a pianist.
So o feel gore team elna this year after the milestone. Ke milestone ne? The milestone o achieving 5 league titles. Going to the Champions League le upper hand.
A bona ye re ketang we win. Ke motivation ya go win hape. CAF.
O bane.
A bona re tsoletso ho ba the winners.
Le tsong go yona.
Motsore stay here. O batla di trophy. Stay here. Motsore tlokwa.
Re tlo ba le di stars 1 2 3.
Di tlo dula kae?
Re tlo bona na di dula kae.
Oh.
Sa go trela sa go trela.
Ka sa o itereu shata wa.
Utlwile. So, nna ke na le first le question ya in terms of leading goal scorer ya the league. Each oreng go Queen. O ka re ke le galabo
every season. No ke last season. Last season
every season ke dira ke competela le mpa le gore kana go ngwe ba nshaya ka 1 goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So each oreng re go wina leading goal scorer.
I wanna ke bapala ke le midfield.
Oh, kona midfield. Ake on this formation la ga re tla ba re botsa di tactics tsa coach re ka botsa formation.
Tlamele ba no ba surprise. A ba tsebe gore o dlala mo kae.
Mo ga ka ke na le di question tse ba.
A kra reng ke re
thola se ba. Ke tla ba re botsa di question tse ba re ka botsa ka formation le role le we dlalang as a player.
Ke dlala 3-5-2.
Okay.
Nna ke dlala as a 10.
Okay.
O itse ba ke fintech. Okay.
Hlalosa mo. Tana give.
ke no ke bona he ba kore ke ba le ba korang bara ke bona ba
Oh, so tennis e dile kae?
Mo mra 9.
Oh, okay. So kwana half striker kind.
Ke ba le ba pocket team.
Oh.
In between the lines.
O pocket team.
Sugar we hlalositse.
O pocket team. Ka maged.
We hlalositse.
Arena le mathata if you pocket team it means you are personalizing it.
Ha ke re mara ke etsa mosebetsi
O tswile maged.
Yeah.
No ke a go. Queen F.
Na ke re mpotse mo. What is your message to the supporters and your request as Lele Banyana Ba Style? Le tsola pele le bontsha
style ba lona.
Style sa Masandawana.
Yeah.
All over the continent, all over the world. What is your message or request from them hale ya kwa go CAF?
Pele ke tlo kopa ba dile ba re be merapelong.
Amen. Ke ro bia merapelo.
Atlile ba re rapella ka dinako tsohle ba phele ba re supporting.
Okay.
Ka support ya bona e bohlokwa haholo rona. Ke yona e re fa morolo. E re fa le matla hore re sebetse ka thata.
Bana ska bua sotho se dipe morolo ke.
Makazo tla ka o re lahlile.
Morolo ke umfu. Oh, okay. I get there is a tribe people who are about to barolo. Armoro, get now barolo. Okay. No, a good deal. No, really.
Masanda Wana, Queen was here.
Yeah.
Let's support the girls. They're going there, making us proud. And we wish them all the best. On top of that, congratulations once again for winning the league 5 times in a row. Let's keep on supporting them. Let's keep on cheering them on. She also mentioned let's keep on praying for them. So definitely we are looking forward to having this chat again.
Yeah.
Lista Sabrado, like she says.
Tango.
Stay tuned. We are still here. Like I said, stay tuned. But we've changed the location. And right now we're joined by the exceptional Mukwetlisi.
Oh.
Mqeqeshi.
Yeah, you are a leadership.
Yeah.
Why Carolina Murangapanda, congratulations for winning the league yet again.
5 times in a row.
Is it 5?
Yeah. You lost count, eh?
No, it happens. It happens. It happens. But guys, thank you for having me on the podcast once again. It wasn't an easy season for us.
I can imagine.
It wasn't an easy season, a very, very challenging one. And when you look in terms of the teams that were challenging us this year, from 4th to 2nd, those teams were challenging us. They were not dropping points at all.
They really fought.
So the likes of your University of Johannesburg, the likes of University of Western Cape, JVW, they gave us a run for our money this season.
Yeah. Coach, you guys lost this one match in UWC, 1-0, 87 minutes right there with a substitute. It's the first touch on that match and he managed to score. How did you take that loss?
Skipper, sometimes as a coach, you would always say, I blame myself in terms of the tactics that were applied on that day. I responded and I said, the manner in which we've approached that game, I feel good. The first half tactics, I think we should have used the first half tactics into the second half, and the second half one into the first half. If you recall, when we started, we didn't play our normal game. We halved everything up. Moved everything up with the hope of carrying them behind the defense and all that. Yeah. For them, first half they were playing.
Yeah.
They were more like that. They were playing. But second half, maybe it's because of they understand the weather up there. Second half they've changed everything. And second half when we tried to play, second half they've played everything up there. So it was a bit difficult. It was difficult for us to contain them. But we took it like a wake-up call for us and said it's better because we've dropped the points as early as maybe I think it was the 4th or the 5th game.
Yeah.
So it would also help ourselves to pick ourselves up, and we've managed to bounce back very strong.
I like it because he says the weather in Cape Town, once they're adjusting now, all of a sudden the opponents have changed the strategy. Now they're playing it up. It reminded me of the games that you used to play against Cape Town teams where the wind, they kick the ball the opposite direction, yet they know the ball is going the other side. So I can understand the level of stress that comes into losing a game, especially if it's a contender. Losing against your immediate rivals, it's not a good thing.
Not at all. I can imagine, especially when you're playing away from home. How did you manage to motivate the girls?
Yeah, before I could go to your question, Skipper, what really surprised me was, first half, we've played against the wind, with the hope that second half we will play with the wind. But still against
it was against you guys.
It was still against
Cape Town for you.
Yeah, that's Cape Town for you.
How did they do it? They knew.
Like they changed the air conditioners. They face this side now. They turn and they face the other side.
It was very difficult. But credit must go to the girls in terms of how we've managed to pick ourselves up. In terms of motivating them, making them understand that it's better because it's still early and we can still come back. And the good thing about it is the fact that we still got to play the team that we lost up against second round at home, so we don't have to drop any points going forward, and the girls, they responded well.
Coach, last season you managed to score more goals than this season. What could have been the problem or the challenges of the team because in some matches you would easily go for 4. This time there were small margins. 1 sometimes you lead to by 2-1. What could have been the challenges or the difference?
Yeah, when you look at a team, the previous thing, the year 2022, I think it's still one of the seasons where we scored more goals than any other season. I think we scored 120 whatever.
This season?
No,
last season.
2022.
2022,
yeah. And last season we also scored more goals,
Okay.
But this season it goes back into new players coming into the team,
I see.
getting to understand how we do things into the team. But also, I think the trip to US, it also affected the team.
I was coming there.
It also affected the team.
Okay.
I mean, we went to US and we've learned a lot of things in US. So when we came back to US, we immediately wanted to apply whatever that we saw in US, Okay. So, and because we got hammered, we're not used to getting hammered, So we've seen the way they do things and the way we could apply things with our team. And we rushed to apply those things.
Okay.
And when you look in terms of the goals, when we came back from US, the confidence was down. That's when the team started scoring one goal.
Yeah.
But immediately we find a rhythm in terms of what we wanted to apply from.
A very heavy score.
Yeah, you saw 8, you saw 13, you saw 5. We put 5 past other teams. That was immediately when we starting to understand and gaining our confidence back in terms of what we wanted to apply into our game that we've learned from US.
So, Coach, now you're heading to the CAF Champions League just after winning the Hollywood Bets 5 times in a row, like we were saying earlier. Skipper mentioned a team that gave you a difficult time with the loss earlier in the season. And you find that the team is also going to be competing with you in the competition. How does that feel to have familiar faces in the competition far away from home?
Yeah, for us it's exciting to see that we're going to CAF Champions League with the job being done back at home in terms of us repping Hollywood Superbet League. Previously we would go to CAF Champions League with maybe 3 or 4 games in hand and hoping that some of the teams, when we are away, they will do the job for us, But this time around, I'm glad that we've done the job for ourselves. The focus now is on CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Coming to the familiar faces from
UWC.
Yeah, from UWC. I think it's a good sign. It shows that South African women's football is growing leaps and bounds, And the team that's been giving us a run for money, they also coming with us to CAF Champions League, which is a good thing. It's a big plus for South African women's football. So for us, at least, we will know that after going through to the group stages, chances are that we may meet the team that we're very familiar with. That's if they also go through to the semis, So for us, it's also going to be a bonus, but it might also be a bit of a challenge because they know us very well. They know our strength and they know our weaknesses. But I believe in the girls and I believe in the entire team. We are ready and looking forward to this one.
Coach, you're playing the 3rd edition of this tournament, which I believe you're playing with more or less the 4th one.
The fourth one.
And I believe you're playing with more or less half of the team is still the team that went with you from the beginning. And as a former player, I always want to have that, where you have players that you played with them for the longest of time. But at the same time, it's a curse because the other team, they know us very well. How do you now plan going to this new edition of the competition? How do you plan differently? Are you going to use the same strategy here that you used in the league? And are you going to use this? Are you going to come with a new plan that can go into to the competition?
Thank you for posing that question, Skipper. If I can tell you now, since way back 2012, the team, in terms of percentage, the players that we had those players since from 2012.
You see?
So I would say 40% now. It's still remaining, with the team. But it's also a challenge because, like you said, teams, they understand us, they know us very well. But this year it's a bit different in terms of the number of players that one could take to CAF Champions League.
Oh.
So the number was minimized into 21. You can only take 21 players,
Okay.
And building the team from 2012 to now, surely some of the players, they are aging, and you have to bring the younger ones in, the energy and all that. But you can't just have energy alone. You need to mix it with a bit of experience. I always say the younger ones, they don't get tired. But the experience, they know how to win games for years. So the younger ones, they will inject that energy that we need. When we've got those goals, and the senior players, they would know how to manage the game for us. So basically, this year you may see a bit different team in Mamelodi Sundowns because of the youngsters that we've brought into the team. So surely we're trying to build this team, but we're not taking away the experience of the senior players. So we're just going to try and ball them together, so that even when the senior players they leave, the younger ones, they've already got the experience of CAF going forward. If we qualify for the next CAF, they would have 3 to 4 caps under their name. So it's going to be a bit easier for us.
How difficult it is to keep these girls motivated, especially?
I honestly like that question. I was about to ask it. How does this? One woman is enough for one man. 29, 21 in the same location, coach.
Look, this one,
emotions.
This one, I think credit must go to the management. Credit must go to the management in terms of how they take care of the girls. They look after the girls very well. That alone is a big motivation for the girls to say we are well taken care of. And I always say, a happy player, it's a star. So when you get players who are happy, surely you'll get players who are also motivated.
Coach, when I was not playing, I used to sulk a lot as a player. One match, I'll understand. The second match, coach, you have to do some explanation because I know I'll be training so well. So, how do you come up with a plan, or how do you explain that to your girls that we don't need you in this match, we need Sugar in this match, for instance? How do you explain that in words? Because we can easily say, as guys, we do understand our emotions. How do you deal with the ladies' emotions?
Skipper, if you look in terms of the team, week in and week out,
it's Solomon.
Week in and week out, we've got changes in the team. It's risky sometimes to make changes into the team. But as a coach, you've got to try your level best to balance to say all of them, they must have minutes in their legs.
I see.
Sometimes we get to sit down with them when we come back from the video analysis room, and analyze the opposition and make them aware and make them understand why they are not part of the team on the day, and because players, they've got different strength. I remember one day I've made a typical example for them and I said, to all of you guys, I want you guys to give me your starting lineup. Each player must give me the starting lineup, and don't write your name on it. Whose starting lineup is it? Just write your starting lineup. Guess what? About 85% of them, they gave me more or less the same starting lineup that I'm doing. The changes will be that maybe Skipper knows that I'm competing with Sugar. Then he will omit Sugar and put himself or herself, rather. So, and I've realized that, now this is what is happening. But the good thing about it is that we get to talk with the players. I've got an open relationship with them. They can ask any question that they want to ask. If they are not happy, sometimes I get to hammer them. I said, "Team ya win team I win has changed. Why has changed? Team ya win. But is a win. Then possibly maybe 2 weeks or the next week I give a run. And if the team wins and I say, now the team win, I stop getting up. But it's one of those things that you have to have an open relationship with them and make them understand the reasons why they are not playing. Even the good thing is the fact that the analysis, when we go to the video session, when we analyze it, we get to show you your weaknesses, your strength, and this is where we want you to improve. And if you don't improve, then we've got a bit of a challenge to say you're not improving. Us as coaches, we can do much
Yeah.
But
You
the
also have
other
to do
thing,
your
you
part.
need to also come and do your part. So it makes our jobs a little bit easier with the analysis.
So, Coach, in the previous campaign, you had a very, very influential player who scored some critical goals in Tolagel. And this season, you're going into a similar and.
Ronald Majila.
But well, that's where I'm coming.
Okay.
Even in her absence,
Yeah.
during the Hollywood bets, you were still able to score the goals that actually caused you to
win the league.
To win the league. What impact does it, her experience, her style of play in the system or the approach of this season?
Honestly speaking, it was a big blow for us to lose a player of Tolaga's caliber, you know. She brings a lot of variety into a team. At some point, you can also play her as a right wing, you know.
Okay.
And she can also play more as a
Yeah,
striker.
what's her check? I'm right.
Too much. Very,
Okay.
very aggressive.
Yeah.
Which one coach got the Romanat?
Yeah.
The Romanat. I reckon
Okay.
but the good thing it's that what I like about the team, you know, everyone at Mamelodi Sundowns can score goals.
Yeah.
You know, the goals, they don't only come from the striker. If I tell you now that our leading goal scorer, it's a midfielder in Boitumelo, Rabale.
Okay.
You know, over the weekend I was telling the team to say, all of us, we've got about 30 players. And there's 30 players, let's just exclude the goalkeepers. So basically we've got 27 infield players. All these 27 infield players, it's only one player who hasn't scored a goal. You know, other than that, all the 27, some they've got 2, some they've got 1. All of them, even those that people they think that they are fringe players.
Yeah,
But
they
the
score.
goals can come anywhere from the team. That's a positive about it.
Coach, there's new teams in the tournament. Have you, maybe we all Latladi Spy? Do you
Yeah.
know much about them?
A whole one,
Okay.
the team from Ethiopia CBE.
Yeah.
They've been qualifying for their qualifiers, more or less. They are COSAFA, which is SECAF, I think. Yeah, they're from the central, and they've been losing in the final for I think it was 3 times in a row. So eventually this time around they've made it through. You know.
Yeah.
So they are a very good side. They more or less
Playing
they play.
team.
They're
Yeah.
a team that likes to play.
Okay.
And FC Massa, which just changed the name now
Yeah.
from Tatum Kumkam to FC Massa.
Yeah.
They are from the north region, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those teams that rely more on playing the ball behind defenders
And
and,
then
all
run.
that. But we've analyzed them and we've seen what they're capable of.
Okay.
They had one of South African players in their books, in Leandra Smeda, who used to play for Banyana. So it's a very, very strong team.
Yeah.
And we've got physical team from Nigeria, Edo Queens, you know. I always say for us to have, in a past 3 edition, we always had either Wafu B champions in our group.
Yeah.
We had Rivers Angels, we had
We are small.
Delta Queens, you know.
Yeah.
Mostly teams from Nigeria, we always find them in our group. And I think it's a good sign for us.
Okay.
Are you looking forward to bringing the trophy back home?
Of course.
Of course, Sugar, it's the mandate. It's the mandate.
A mandate.
You know,
That way you like.
To love this week mandate. What one mandate?
you can
Hey, I
win.
made a mistake of using that word, Coach. You know you are repeating
Come
that.
on, that is the word of the week.
You know, Sugar, you can win the Hollywood Super Bet League as much as you want, but
The big
I mean,
one.
That's
the
where
big
you
one,
test yourself.
The big one, it's CAF Champions League. Yeah, we just want to bring it home, and it's coming back home where it belongs.
Fatima o tlo dila le lena ke gopela gore le dile le yena early.
Asale.
Oh nice, gona re tsona re ile win.
Ba tsamaya ntse ke le babadi le ba bang ba na le ba sa tsamaeleng o tsamaile bo Chebak,
Okay.
captain of Morocco.
Uh-huh.
She also left the team. Fatima also left the team.
Okay.
But they've got few youngsters who are very good.
Okay.
Yeah, they've brought in few youngsters who are very good.
Coach ke rata gore dirile homework ya gago. And I don't want you to over elaborate.
O ntshadi Phiri's pepenene.
Ba tla ba re phazamisa. Ba re phazamisa.
There you have it, another episode of Pitchside with the current reigning champion, the coach who has won the league 5 times in the Hollywood Bets. Coach Jerry, congratulations once again, and all the best as you go to the CAF Champions League. Once again, we'll be rooting for you, and we'll be rooting for the girls, and we'll be rooting for the whole team, and we'll make sure that you hear our voices all the way in Morocco. Wherever you are, just tell a neighbor to tell a friend that it's happening on the pitch side. Like and subscribe, share as well. Tell somebody that news are found here. This is the pitch side
podcast. We here.
We are Masandawana.